Alright, here we are at part 4, episode 4. The video is from the 15th of December 2017. The audio track is being recorded, or voiceovers is being recorded on the 18th of December 2017. It's Monday. As we were carrying over from the last part, I was mentioning that World of Warcraft is really, the story is sort of borrowed ideas from the old Gary Gygax Dungeons and Dragons, and with sort of Star Wars layers, all kinds of different themes from movies, but those are the main ones that I see in the story. But I feel, as a fan of the lore, that Warcraft is kind of, as they got into doing novels, and even with the movies, they started developing a deeper story than what was originally out there in the original Warcraft. This last part is only 14 minutes long. I made it for the people who are saying I am incapable of making a video shorter than 15 minutes. Huh. At least this part is less than 15. But anyway, the lore has become pretty deep, rich story. I like it. I think it's fun. The story isn't meant to be like War and Peace. Although if you ever known anything about a toy store, or the guy who wrote War and Peace, Tolstoy, he believed that average everyday people wrote the best stories because they wrote from the heart, and they wrote in an unfiltered way, and that's why journaling, and I think these online long formatted videos, at least for me, work better because you're seeing people play the game as it's meant to be. They're not giving you a watered down, scaled down version of, hey, this is when I happily was recording and I got all the good stuff. You're only seeing my best play. You're also getting to see when they make mistakes, they fly to the wrong place, they don't hire a warlock on a raid, so now everybody's got to walk everywhere. People actually don't listen to the guild master or whoever's leading the raid, and they all die. Or people have to go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. The game doesn't always work right. Having to work around map issues, bugs, glitches. You see all that in the longer formatted videos, and I kind of get enjoyment out of it. It's entertaining. It's like watching a sports game, you know. When you're watching it or you're witnessing, you're seeing all the mistakes, the people not playing right, people getting upset, being human. Sometimes when you're at the ball game, you have to get up and go to the bathroom, and then you have to deal with the concession stands, the long lines at the bathroom, finding a bathroom, getting to the stadium, leaving the stadium, finding your car. All the things that make going to a live game interesting. I think the live streams for me do that, or even these type of formats where they're sort of video captured and played at a later date. I think you're getting to see the game in context with real people playing, people who have jobs. Although I am entertained by teenagers doing streams, I believe that people under 25 live in a cocoon. And I say this from experience, that unless you're a person over 25 that has lived a little and sees things in sort of a patient way, or have a lot of life behind you, you don't really appreciate the longer formatted videos and the rich content that they have. You don't see it when you're under 25. And I think for World of Warcraft, I think their audience is 25 and older is probably their main audience, bigger audience. And I think I see more and more people sort of coming back to World of Warcraft that are sort of older, and I think it's a growing trend. And I think it's because of the online streaming that's going on YouTube. It's sort of the forefront of that. So here we are. We're coming up to the end of the grind. You only got about 12 minutes left, I think, of the video. I wish I had captured the footage from yesterday, because I did a lot of grinding, but fortunately I have to get all these videos processed to free up all that hard drive space, which I intend to do early this week, so I can get to the actual recording new footage. Now I actually do read the descriptions in these quests, and then I look down at the objectives. Sometimes I glance over the objectives as I'm getting the mission, and then as I'm flying to the mission or getting ready to actually do the quest, I read it in more detail at that point. That way I got a sense of the context of the quest. Is the quest part of a larger part of the story? Is it standalone? What's going on? Now the way these role-playing games work really is all these quests is teaching you about the environment, who these people are, their place in the world, and it's leading to the larger mosaic, which, for those of you that didn't play Warcraft, I misspoke in the last part. I said Arthas turns in Warcraft 2, but it's actually Warcraft 3 that he turns, because Warcraft 3 begins with Arthas and Jaina Proudmoore, and Sylvanus. They were all part of the same. They were all paladins, really, for the Alliance. And Warcraft 3 is where the Draenor come to crash on the planet. For those of you that saw Warcraft at the beginning, where they show the orc and human fighting, but where Duratan is doing his sort of montage or his monologue, that scene comes from the first cutscene in Warcraft, where the human and the orc are fighting each other. And that's how the first 3 games, the cutscenes sort of start. And then it goes, you play the game and it goes into the lore. And I think that's kind of cool. So here, everything is leading us to this final area,
King's honor, friend.
which I think is called, it's not Storm Peak, but it leads to the gate there in Winter. Is it
Be careful.
not Wintergrass, but what's the other one? Blight something. Anyway, you get to the wall, and then the guy comes out, and there's a huge battle, and then that's where Sylvanus shows up and throws the little fell bomb on both the human and the horde, and pretty much kills everybody. And then the dragons come out, and that's a pretty pivotal scene in the lore, and hoping to capture that on video. Lucky you can go back and replay that video. So I decided to come back to... I was tired at this point. I decided to call it a day. And I always come back to my home, which is in Goldshire. Now on the Fine Risk server, Goldshire is always busy with people, but it's not like, was it Moonglade? Where all the crazy erotic roleplay is going on. Now, me personally, I'm not like against the erotic roleplay. I get it. People do that kind of stuff. But I find it interesting when people encounter it for the first time. And I wouldn't say odd is the correct term, or the emotion that they're feeling. It's just, it's like watching a car wreck for the first time. You can't look away. You can't look away. But anyway, I like coming back to Goldshire, getting all my end of the day stuff. As this character is a miner, she usually melts down all her ore and gets all her leather stuff situated. And then that way when I come back the next day, I usually go by the bank and put everything away. Sometimes throughout the day I have to make multiple trips back to the bank. But for the most part, I do my final day stuff, chores, and then my beginning day chores. I check my mail, and then post stuff at the auction house if I need to at the begin. I always post my stuff at the beginning of the day, and not at the end of the day. Do my cooking. Don't have anything at this point. I have to progress my cooking skills, and I don't know where in the world it is that I can do that, because all the areas I used to go to have all changed. So
Safe travels.
I have to figure that out. So here we are at the end. I hope you've enjoyed all 4 parts. Yeah, like the video if you want to. Subscribe if you are entertained by all our videos. We're going to be putting up a couple this week, hopefully. We're at least going to get them all processed. And then we'll get these videos up on YouTube shortly this week.
Go with honor, friend.
I don't want to sign off just yet, because we still have about 40 seconds. But I always find the conversations going on in Goldshire to be interesting. No matter what server you're on, Goldshire always has stuff going on in it, which is fun. For me, it's fun and interesting. Well, thank you and enjoy your day. Bye.